All right, now it is time for us to draw an actual object. So we're gonna do a still life drawing and shading. Right here, I have this apple. So first, what I'm going to do is just lightly sketch out the contour. Remember, draw light until you know it's right. Looking at this apple, it is not like a complete perfect sphere. There's little angles, kind of bumps in it. A little square at the top. Okay, so maybe this is the outline of my apple. This comes out and then it goes back in a little more. And then I'm just going to do a little kind of line where the curve, where the stem would be, right here. Okay, so now that I have the contour drawn, it's time for me to start shading. So looking at this apple, I'm paying attention to where I see where the light is hitting. So the light is coming from behind me, it's pretty much hitting right here. So that's just gonna be my lighter area, is gonna be here. And then the shadow gets darker down here. So I'm gonna start shading right here, because this will end up being my darkest value. Remember, there's a bunch of different techniques. I do want you to try to use several of them during this drawing, because you're going to be doing, well, not during one drawing, but you're going to have several drawings by the end of class. Right now I'm just kind of doing a little kind of hatching, going with the contour of my apple. So with the curve of the apple, it's going to help make it look 3D. Make sure that your object that you're sketching is also at least the same size. Don't draw them teeny tiny. All right. It kind of curves in, so I'm gonna do some cross contour lines. Going with the curve. And I'm gonna start building up those darker values down here. Remember, you can do blending, cross hatching, hatching, stippling if you really want to. If you're stippling, I'm not going to be too mad if you draw your object a little smaller. Notice how my lines are kind of curving in, because that's where the curve of the apple goes in, and they'll be doing that all the way around. And that's going to help make it look 3D. All right, so slowly again, I'm just building up these values. Looking at this apple, it's like we talked about, there's a little reflective light right in between the bottom and where it's the darkest, where it's a little bit lighter. So my darkest values are not going to go quite all the way to the bottom, because there is a little bit of that reflective light. Now try not to worry too much about color. Make sure you're really focusing on those values. We have some real dark values over here with some highlights that I'll end up probably going back and erasing. There's like a kind of a divot or like a little puncture in it right there. I'm gonna make sure I get that dark value there, and then I'll lighten it up around it. And then maybe blend it a little bit later. So, I mean, everyone has their own kind of style. About to hear some announcements during this drawing. This is nice. But anyway, yeah, everyone has their own style. I like to move around a lot. So I'm not working just on one side and then moving my way to the other. little bit of a shadow right here where light comes on. It's lighter. Typically, if I
Good morning, Decatur High School. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Attention, salute, pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. You may be seated. Please pause for 30 seconds to reflect upon your day. Thank you. If you see Mr. Smith today, wish him happy birthday. He celebrates his birthday on Sunday. The Red Raiders take on Columbia this Friday night at Columbia High School. Come out and show your support. Go Raiders. Boys soccer tryouts will be held October 3rd, 4th, and 5th at Point Mallard Fields from 4 to 6 p.m. Sign up is outside of Coach Belcher's room, F116, and make sure you have an up-to-date Dragonfly account with current physical before tryouts begin. You will not be eligible to participate without it. Attention all track athletes. Do not forget to order your track gear for the upcoming track seasons by September 26th. The store will not reopen for any reason. If you do not purchase a uniform, you will not be on the track team. See Coach Smith if you have any questions. Girls soccer tryouts will be held October 17th, 18th, and 19th at Point Mallard from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. Sign up outside of Coach Dunlap's or Coach Holsey's room and make sure that you have an up-to-date physical and Dragonfly account. If you have any questions, see Coach Dunlap or Coach Holsey. There will be a meeting for those interested in DECA competitions on Tuesday, October the 4th at 7:30 a.m. in F115. If you cannot attend, email Ms. Peden and let her know you are interested. See You at the Pole will be on Wednesday, September 28th at 8:05 at the flagpole in front of the main office. Everyone is invited to attend. Next week's drama club meeting is on Wednesday, September 28th. And that will be for the Thespian Society members and students competing in the Trumbauer Theater competition only. We will hold officer elections and discuss important competition details. If you are not a Thespian member or competing at Trumbauer, please do not attend next week's meeting. We will look forward to seeing you back at the first meeting in October. Thank you. DHS HOSA and Life South will hold their blood drive on Tuesday, October 4th in honor of Mr. Boucher. Students and staff can sign up to be a donor during lunch beginning Tuesday, September 27th through Monday, October 3rd. Donors must be at least 16 years of age and weigh at least 110 pounds. Teachers, please remember that today we will have our faculty meeting at 3:45 in Alumni Hall. Please bring your computers to the meeting. Thank you and have a wonderful day.
Okay, so whenever I get kind of stuck and I don't know what to do, I just go back to my darkest value. So I know mine, looking at this apple, it's like right here and over here in the corner. So, and then I might go back and make my darker values even darker. And just kind of push my other values a little bit more to get more variety. All right, so I think just for like a study, like a quick drawing, this looks pretty good. I mean, I could honestly keep working on this for a while to really get it exactly how I want it, but for just a practice, this will be good enough. Make sure you also do your shadow. Now that is really important. So without a shadow, it just looks like it's floating. So looking at my shadow, it starts about right here. It goes around over here and ends there. And it's the darkest right where it touches the apple. And then especially right here, and then it gets lighter and fades as it gets further away from the apple. So just depending on your light source, shadows look all different. Just make sure you're drawing it how you see it. And I will be probably smudging or blending a little bit to make the shadow really kind of fade out. Now getting a nice sharp, deep, crisp right where it's touching the object will enhance the reflective light. So this lighter part at the bottom of my apple, where the light was reflecting back up to the apple, the shadow, when I make it nice and dark like this, it's gonna highlight that. Now your shadow probably is not going to look like mine because the lights might be different when you do your drawing. So just make sure you're drawing what you see, not what you think you see. And I really need to get like a tissue or a Q-tip out. Here we go. All right, I think that's pretty good for my first one.